Yo, what's good guys? Welcome along to the video. My name is Gaabbbaaa, and today's video is all about turning a basic player that avoids sniping into someone quite competent and a real asset to the team when they find the right gun. So throughout this video there's quite a few tips. I hope you guys can stick around for the full thing and maybe drop a like. My name is Gaabbbaaa, subscribe for more. So let's get into the video. We've all played enough Warzone to know that snipers aren't rare, they're everywhere. They're in a lot of crates, they're even in the special crates. But you really want to avoid them. I mean, you pick them up, the bullet drop, you aim at the head, it dips to the foot. It's so erratic. Some of them are really good, some of them are really bad. And because of their unpredictability, I would really actively avoid them. That is why selecting your own sniper from the loadout crate is so powerful. You can swap that pistol for anything. MP7s, MP5s are all the same. The problem with these random snipers you find is you aim above the head, it still dips down into the chest. You've got a hit marker again, and now they know where you are and they're all in cover. It's like pointless even having it. I mean, in a real game of Warzone, I don't even shoot unless I know the headshots come in. I have to get headshots. I don't want to give away the position without a down. I'm not going to get a second shot, if that makes sense. So because our team kind of got fed up with being pinned down or not being able to rotate in the way that they want, we needed a sniper, someone that could kind of fight back a little bit. Luckily, my team are really good at spotting. One of my team actually rocks the riot shield. Look out of a window, walk up close, and easily mark where the enemies are. That leaves me to pop them off. It works really, really well. So it is super effective having at least one sniper rifle in your team, if you like. Which one exactly, I'm about to show you. But you need to have at least one sniper in your team to put pressure on them. You take one player down, your full squad can then rush. While they're panicking and reviving, you've got time to throw your nades over, get the stun grenades over. You know where they are, so it should be an easy battle. So let me get into the class right now. You'll see here that we have the HDR, and the reason we're choosing this gun for someone new to sniping is this exact barrel, the 26.9-inch HDR Pro. Ignore everything else. The reason being, this has a ridiculous bullet travel time. It is almost instant. We know that pistols have the most exaggerated bullet drop in Warzone. This is the exact opposite end of the scale. It is the only attachment that allows this to happen. It's extremely fast, extremely powerful, and it has zero bullet drop. So you have to be using this HDR, this exact barrel, and ignore everything else. If you're not picking your own loadout, you will see HDRs on the floor, and if you see HDR custom red background, feel confident that that player that dropped it also chose the 26.9-inch barrel. But if you actually wanted to make your own class, this is what I would choose. The monolithic suppressor is the last thing you unlock, so use the tactical in the meantime. But over here we want to improve our ADS with this attachment, and the stock reduces the swaying, allowing you to get your crosshair on target quicker. And last but not least, most important perk is the fully loaded perk. Focus is great too, but early in the game, you may not have as much ammo as you would like. Fully loaded turns 5 bullets into 45 bullets. Really recommend that. And as a secondary, any pistol, and the only thing you really need is fully loaded. Did you know that pistol ammo is the same as SMG ammo? So if I chose this exact pistol from my loadout, I'll also get full SMG ammo. So good late game, if you've just dropped in from the gulag, you'd actually get full SMG ammo just by choosing this pistol. And it's a secondary. It's unreal. The rest of it doesn't really matter. I've chose the Renetti. It's quite good with the triple fire. Really is powerful, but I very rarely use it. I'll instantly swap it for another gun. And if you are swapping guns around, you'll notice on the floor there'll be tons of guns. So swap this pistol for any SMG and you'll still start with full ammo. It's fantastic. And a bit about the perks down here. EOD is good for plunder, or you've got quick fix, which I prefer for BR. A lot less RPGs and C4s lying around. Restock because I want unlimited these two. Stun grenades, I want to be quite attacking, and shrapnel gives me tons more. Well, it lets you carry 2 of your equipment here. You don't actively have to select this class from your loadout to become the sniper you want to be. On the floor you will see HDR in red, HDR custom. Be confident to pick that up and continue using the tips throughout this video. Really quick, my settings are on screen now. I'm using 1010.83. This value here, the ADS sensitivity, can be lowered, and I would recommend you have it to below 1. And once you've changed it once, keep it that way. You pick a value, stick with it, because muscle memory is the most important thing for sniping actually. Is understanding how much to move your cursor, your trigger, to get it on target as quick as possible. And I'm now used to it, and that is how I went from being an average sniper to good by lowering this roughly 3 months ago, and I've kept it there. Works great. Just to let you know, it is okay to miss. It's okay. If you're practicing, shoot, get used to how much you need to move that right analog stick to get your bullets on target. If you're playing plunder solo, you get no one having a go at you about not getting money, no one watching you miss. It's fine. Just if you die, you get to respawn exactly where you died, pretty much. You can land on the roof nearby, reposition, and get a few more shots in. It's just practice. It takes time, it takes muscle memory, and this is perfect for you to go from average, basic, all the way up to pro in no time. Now, practice makes perfect, obviously. You want to be choosing this weapon, and that is playing solo in plunder. Did you know playing plunder on your own, wherever you die, you respawn there? Whereas if you're playing as a squad, you have to change location. And I suggest you hang around the promenade, continuously sitting on those roofs and picking off targets. It is just practice, and that's all you're going to be doing. You don't care about the win, just die, respawn on a building, die, land on the other building. It is that simple, and just practice makes perfect. Rather than waiting for your moment to pick the loadout, you miss your shots, you die, you may give up too soon. So you want to be playing plunder. I recommend you play on your own and land on the roofs. So my first tip with sniping, literally aim for the head or nothing. This has no bullet drop, so you just need to hit the head. Unlike any other sniper you may pick up off the floor, this doesn't dip, it doesn't drop, there's no arch, there's no leading the shot, it's just aim for the head. Anywhere else you might as well have missed, because every single sniper is an instant down. Did you know that? With HDR, there's no dip using that 26.9-inch barrel. If you've chose the gun in plunder, you're going to be perfectly set up for when you play Warzone for real. Aim for the head and nothing else. Now, have you guys ever seen Saving Private Ryan? Great film, and there's a moment in the film where the sniper doesn't kill the guy he's downed because he's waiting for his medic to come, and he gets 2 kills that way. That is so useful in Warzone. That technique works great in the open areas of the hills. It works really well in farmland, some areas near the north of the map as well, near military base. If you're in those areas, consider downing a guy and waiting for his team to come along as well. There will be someone else there. Keep a close eye. If he does his self-revive, you need to finish him, clearly. But if he's not, he's waiting for his team. What you need to do is, remember, stop aiming down sight so you don't give away your position. You do not want to have that glare on your gun. You will be live marked. They'll shoot back at you, and you may not get the chance to finish any kills whatsoever. So if you can clearly see them, stop ADSing and wait. But as a little pro tip for you guys, if you wanted to edit the class, and if the situation comes up, for example, you're in downtown or you're in the promenade, you could swap out this stock here for the 3x optic. The 3x optic doesn't give off a glare. It's really unusual that this hasn't got that little glint. So any gun in this game that has 4x optic will be giving off a glint. The 3x does not. So this is what it looks like. Really is good for, it's quite situational though. So if you're in downtown, in the airport, storage town, areas like that with fairly close engagement, if you have a version of this on your gun, you won't be giving off a glint for the rest of the game. It's quite clever, quite good for the final circle. This is the version I'll be choosing, therefore you're not giving away your position. So in Call of Duty, there's something called ego chow, egotistical challenging, where someone's aiming down sight, but you still jump around the corner and try to pull off some sort of hero move. Never going to work with a sniper. It really won't, particularly in a beginner's sort of sense. My recommendation is to shoot and move. So if you do know someone is aiming down sight, particularly with their glint and you know that they're there, they're aiming back at you, you shouldn't even bother looking. You need to get behind cover and move and peek somewhere you don't expect them to be looking. Giving you a moment, to aim for the head, shoot. If you miss, you duck, you move again. You cannot re-peek with a sniper, particularly someone aiming back at you. So do not ego chow. Be the guy that shoots, moves, shoots and moves. Often you're moving closer to the center circle, or in plunder, you're at least getting behind a separate bit of cover. So they're not already aiming back at you. You just won't succeed if you keep reappearing in the same place. So look around you. You'll see every building around you has a little lip there, purposely put there to allow people to be revived. Makes sense, right? So as the sniper, I would suggest you stop buying UAVs, but instead airstrikes. That will confirm the kills and kill equipment and kill or down any player on the roof that may be with them. Really great technique, allowing you and your team to push up. No point doing it on anyone you're not intending on squad wiping, if that makes sense. If you're going to push a building, you have to because of the circle location, or they're a high earner in plunder. Down a guy, airstrike on the head. To be fair, in Warzone, in BR, you don't necessarily have to keep confirming kills. Just downing them, allowing your team to move, to rotate, get into a better position is so useful. Just one down teammate can ruin a whole enemy team. It works really, really well. But if you are going to push a building, that's what you need to do as the sniper. Don't get left behind, but snipe one player, get an airstrike on there, then push the building with your team. So once you've made the transition from plunder, you feel confident you can actually take this weapon into the Warzone, into the Battle Royale. It kind of should be as a reserve. You pick it up, you don't even select this class I've created for you. It's a reserve weapon. You find it on the floor, you see that, like I said earlier, custom HDR, boom. It's your back pocket. It's for you to look ahead, look into the mountains, look around the corner, see, are there enemies over there? It should not be your main weapon. Because if it becomes your main weapon, you're slowly going to be left behind while your team are rushing forward. You'll find yourself at the back of the pack too easily, undercover, you're in a safe space, you're looking. You do not want to be performing like that. That is not what the sniper class is for. It is to be aggressive and move closer to the center circle and keep moving. Do not get left behind. So I decided to make a gun that I knew how to use. Any sniper you find on the floor, the bullet drop, the travel time, how quickly it aims down sight is all random. It's totally random and it's so varied that there's no point even using it, in my opinion. But you can easily find a Gaabbaa on the floor. Everyone's got an MP5 lying around. They're everywhere. And they're easy to pick up and they're all slightly different, whereas snipers are massive difference. So I decided to make this video to let you guys know about this specific class that you could select yourself, and as a secondary, pick up the MP5 you find on the floor, and you've got the best of both. I'm going to show you the last thing in this video, which is centering, which is use that little white dot to pull the gun over the enemies as soon as possible. You kind of want to be pre-aiming with just from here, not from here. That makes sense? You do not want to be aiming down sight for too long. That isn't really an advised way. You're not really going to learn sniping by doing this. You need to be seeing the enemy and pulling it over them like that. Let's try and show you that now. So I kind of move my left analog stick first. So I move the bullet into them, rather than moving the right stick and moving the left stick. Because the left stick's a lot more forgiving than the right stick. You notice that? Notice if I move the left stick, the right stick, it's just a lot easier to move the left one. So that's what we refer to as centering. So just to recap, the centering part is to ignore your left stick. Kind of get it in line and move your left stick. You should not be in ranges where you need this. Over time you'll know how much to move it. It isn't very much. You want to be moving your left analog stick at all times. Trying to get that headshot. On Warzone, of course, enemies are a bit farther away. Just to reiterate my point, we shouldn't be close. This is too close. You don't want to be using snipers anywhere near this close. It's going to be from a distance. You're not going to be doing any quick scoping. This is there's no point. There literally is no point. You'll be getting so many hit markers, you won't get a chance to get a second one off. This close is too close. But yeah, so the whole point I want to show you is moving left analog stick, not right. Also, by the way, just trying to show you that it does shoot through walls as well. A lot of the time there's windows, there's doors. You can certainly shoot through those with this gun. More powerful than people realise, to be fair. As long as you're aiming high, you get those headshots in, should be sound. So I want to finish the video by talking about one last thing, and that is avoid quick scoping. I mean, it is a cool little trick. You don't need to be doing that. I would actually avoid doing like this. So you have the gun on the inside, you're aiming out, pre-aiming. Do not be going for these quick scopes like this. It's not going to be something you're going to benefit from in the Warzone. You're going to get so many hit markers with their armor that you're quite literally going to be killed by the time you've got your second bullet on target. So do not do so. Be sure, like in the same room, don't go for glory. You're not going to get a kill. It's just going to result in you getting respawned. Alright, before I go, I want to just let you know that practicing with bots really isn't going to be useful. The quick scoping required is just too high. You're not really going to be quick scoping in any game. You're always going to be at the range where you need to keep your distance. Keep practicing with your left analog stick, ignore the right analog stick. Quick scoping really isn't really a thing in Warzone, unless you're kind of one of the top end snipers where they have to kind of get those clips. You should be focusing on taking your time, hitting the shots, and not caring if you miss, you know. Just get those headshots, because body shots are just going to result in them shooting back. So anyway, my name is Gaabbbaaa. I hope you do enjoy the video. Maybe drop a like if you've got this far through. Mate, you take care. Bye-bye. Always commit suicide to finish a video. I mean, it's the way this game works, right?